Bergsman, one of the commissioners with the Town of Huntersville, and we've got Maria Cepeda, our events manager with Parks and Rec Department, and Chef Matt, who is here, is a regular at our farmers market for many years now. So, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
So, before we talk about the growers market, I want to take a moment to celebrate one of Huntersville's biggest events that we have every year, which was just yesterday, Hello Huntersville. And Maria is one of the brainchildren behind that. And I wanted to talk to you and how you felt that went and what are some of the highlights from yesterday.
Yeah, so I think overall the event went really, really well. It's always really great to see everybody come out. It's great to see all of the puzzle pieces that we work on as a team come together. And the day goes by so quick, but I feel like the magic and all the great memories that families have that come or participants that come to the event is forever lasting. I think that people enjoy, meeting other people there. I think it brings a sense of community. And then it always highlights our fantastic department as well.
Yeah, for those who have not been before, Hello Huntersville is an arts and music festival that we hold every year at Veterans Park. And can you tell me a little bit more how maybe it's changed over the years since you've been involved?
Yeah, so I think as like a rule of thumb, events manager don't usually, I would say, they don't like to do big changes because there are so many moving parts. So um, thankfully, my current supervisor, she had done them before me. So it was, and Michael, our director, has been there for forever, and then Tracy's been there as well. So it's kind of like I get a lot of insight and input from others where I don't feel, I guess, so alone in the planning process of it. The planning process was really great. Communication is key, making sure that I communicate with the nonprofits that are with us, the community partners, the vendors, all the moving parts, just making sure that we're all on the same page with everything and everything is kind of mapped out for everybody as well. Yeah.
It's great. And it's always such a great energy, at the park during the event with, the live music, the food trucks, the art. What's one of your favorite features?
I love getting a party started. I love a good band. So picking the band is always really fun for me. Picking the entertainment is always really fun. We have a lot of local artists too that came, or one local artist that came, and then a couple dance groups that are local to the Huntersville area. So that was really cool. And one that has never done events with us before that just launched her nonprofit, Heart to Harmony. So she wanted to be part of this event, for example, and she kind of had that and had the best day ever. But my favorite part would be the bands and just overall entertainment. We work with a acting group called Sigmund Theatrical, and they are the roaming characters that you see at most of our events. And we handpicked those. Yesterday was May the 4th be with you. So they ordered savers. But yeah, however you say it. But and then
And if you're not a Star Wars fan out there, you might want to Google May the 4th be with you.
Yeah. So, and then, I was like, we need to have, I think Lindsay and I had seen them at another event or something on social media, and we were like, oh, we need to have that. So, Tina with the Magic Music Group, she kind of puts everything together with Segment Theatrical. So they're real actors, and you could see because they really make the magic happen. We saw them at a conference a couple years ago, and they were the opener for the conference when we were having dinner, and you just felt the magic that they created. So they had brought out all their roaming characters, and I think that's kind of when it clicked for me that I was like, okay, this is something that I get to plan. Like I want to keep having roaming characters that really highlight the event itself. So we had the Darth Vader, the stormtroopers, walking butterflies, a walking tree, and a whole bunch of others, and a backstage that we incorporated last year.
Yeah, I saw the person or the actor, the tree. I was calling it a tree spirit because I
Yep.
wasn't sure. I mean, very tall, remind me a little bit of Groot,
Yep.
but not Groot. And yeah, so that was a tree.
Yeah. The
Uh,
tree person. Not really sure what, but I was
It
like,
was
we
really
need
cool.
that. We need that. And the cool thing about it is that they do a lot of events throughout the Carolinas. So a lot of other departments use them as well. Once we kind of realized that, we were like, it just clicked for us. We're like, we need to have that. We need to make sure that we budget for that. We need to make sure that, they have a place where they can, even park their trailer, like just, all down to the little details of it so that they also have a good time in the event as well as we're hosting.
Yeah, well, it was definitely excellent job, and I know a few of my favorites. There was while we were in the food truck area, there were two folks that came by on. They had their little, oh my gosh, not a Segway, but like those hoverboards, but
Jugglers.
jugglers.
Yep.
But they were also they made their hoverboard look like dragons,
Yep.
and we're going through through the crowds on the little hoverboards,
Hmm.
juggling at the same time, and I just looked at them like, how do you do that?
Yeah. They practice. They're again real actors. They're busy 24/7. So they're really like ironing their craft too. So and when I realized how much they care and how much they want to bring again like magic to events, that's when we were like, yeah, that's kind of a no-brainer. And any major event that we have, they're there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was wonderful. So, for those who didn't make it this year, is it always the first weekend
First
in
Sunday
May?
of May.
First
Yep.
Sunday of May. So, put it on your calendars now for next year. But, it really is. I feel like that, along with the growers market, is kind of a reflection of our town's creative spirit,
Mhm.
and some of the things that we really value in our town. And speaking of community traditions, I think that's a great time to segue a bit into our growers market. And Maria, remind me, how long have you worked with the town?
I've been with the town for about 3 years.
Great. And Chef Matt, I know we were talking before the show that I think out of the three of us here, you have been around and involved in the growers market for the longest. So once we get back from our break, I'd love to hear from you about what your experience has been over the years. Growers Market was founded, I believe, in 1999. So it's been quite a while now, and Huntersville has certainly changed over that time. So after this break, look forward to talking to both of you some more.
Sit tight. We'll be back with more after this on WSIC 1059 100.7 1400 AM. Local starts here.
Well, boy, just a really nice way to kick off a new work week around Lake Norman. Plenty of sunshine, comfortable today with high temperatures in the mid-70s. Most of us will stay dry. There is the low chance of an isolated shower or storm, but I wouldn't hold my breath for that. Even up over the mountains where they have a better chance. Chance is still low, only about a 20%. Overnight temperatures will get cool as we fall down into the low 50s, mid and upper 70s on the way again, staying dry Tuesday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like Greystone Lodge in Boone.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Ready to roll, race fans? Swing by Harrison's in Mooresville and register in person for your chance to choose your race. 3 winners. First place picks first. Will it be the Coca-Cola 600 with pre-race passes, the Bet MGM 300, or the North Carolina Education Lottery 200? Register now through May 15th at Harrison's, the Southeast leader in Carhartt, Ariat, and Western wear. Winners announced live on the Home Ad Show. Lake Norman Woman is proud to sponsor the Mother's Day Commons Market at Birkdale Village with Shop Local QC. Join us Sunday, May 11th from 11 to 4 at the Plaza for live music. Free photos with Mom from 12 to 1 and over 30 amazing local vendors. Don't miss it! Pulp Juice and Smoothie Bar in Cornelius is open for business. Drop into 9623 Bailey Road in Cornelius for a healthy smoothie today. The 500 Club in Statesville presents live music on Saturday night with a performance by My Better Half. After the concert on Saturday, come back to the club on Sunday to celebrate with a Mother's Day brunch. Golfing, entertainment, and honoring Mom are all at the 500 Club in Statesville this weekend. Peninsula Community Foundation is holding a volunteer fair on Thursday, May 8th. Join us at Bethel Presbyterian Church in Cornelius from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. as over 20 nonprofits offer volunteer opportunities for all ages. Learn about volunteering in your community at the Volunteer Fair Thursday, May 8th at Bethel Presbyterian Church in Cornelius. From everyone here at WSIC Radio, we wish you a happy Mother's Day this Sunday. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Opening doors to your future. Literally. Buying, selling, or building your portfolio? Put the team at Centralina Realty to work for you. We're in the center of North Carolina and at the center of your journey. CentralinaRealty.com.
Spring has sprung, and so have the savings. Drum Landscape Supply is your go-to for mulch, stone, sand, and specialty plants, and they're offering 50 to 70% off pavers and natural stone. Your dream landscape is just one stop away. Hurry in and save big, only at drumlandscapesupply.com.
All right, we're back with more from the Town of Huntersville on WSIC 105.9, 100.7, 1400 AM. Local starts here.
Welcome back to Thrive Here Live. And you're with Commissioner Alisia Bergsman, our Parks Events Manager, Maria Cepeda, and Chef Matt from the Growers Market. So for those who don't know, the Huntersville Growers Market first opened in 1999 and has become a Saturday morning ritual for so many families, mine included. It was created to connect residents with fresh, locally grown food, support farmers in our area, and foster a strong sense of community. Now, in 1999, the population of Huntersville was quite a bit different than what it is today. So, Matt, I'd love to hear from you. How did you first get involved in the market, and what has been your experience over the years?
Well, I was a regular at the market for the first couple of years, and eventually got into cooking and sampling demonstrations at the market, where I take foods from the local growers and I let people try before you buy and give them ideas of how to prepare it. And I like to focus on the more exotic stuff because obviously everybody comes for the tomatoes, but not necessarily for the fennel. So, it's been a lot of fun. And I started doing that maybe the second or third year of the market and been with it through 4 locations and ever since.
Hey, and we just had the market just kicked off this season on Saturday, May 3rd. So what was there like a feature ingredient or theme of this past weekend?
I did weird things with radishes. I was
Tell me
totally
more.
winging it. Yeah. I mean, a lot of days, especially in the first weeks of the market, it's hard to predict what's going to be there. And so it's a little nerve wracking. I kind of show up and walk around, but I knew that Green Thumb Gardens was going to have a lot of radishes, and so I played with those. We had great crowds, and everybody is always open to the samples. I get a lot of little kids that visit me weekly, and they eat vegetables.
And things that I'm not a really big vegetable eater, yeah. And you have opened the door for cooking vegetables and flavoring vegetables, which I feel like people don't really think to do to make it taste good. So
My job here is through.
yeah. So now I eat vegetables.
You have done what you did. And I am actually a person, so I like vegetables, but I struggle with radishes. So I wish I was not out of town this weekend, or I would have learned something. But can you tell me now, like, what was something you did creative with the radish?
Well, Mike brings a lot of, they're called French breakfast radishes. And so for people that aren't as adventurous, they're not particularly spicy. I happen to like spicy, but these are delicious on their own. But I decided to roast them. And I was nervous because I was texting all my chef friends the night before going, hey, you ever roast radishes? And they all said, No. So I roasted the radishes, and I had microgreens from, Nourished Life, and a little salad underneath it. And then I had a radish and heirloom carrot mignonette on top as a dressing. So you got a little bit of the raw radish with the roasted radish, because the roasting kind of mellows it out.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds amazing. I'm going to file that away. And hopefully there will be radishes this
And
week too.
your lemonade.
Oh, I did the.
Wait, was there radish lemonade?
No, we did a mojito mocktail, because one of our vendors had a whole lot of mountain mint, so we utilized that, and we always like to have a beverage, especially on the hot days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds lovely. So, Maria, from your point of view, what do you think is the heart and the mission of the growers market?
So really, from the get-go, I felt like the heart was family. Like everyone was really nice, and very welcoming. So it just felt like family. Like it felt like that's what you do with your family on the weekend. And when I say family, I mean the vendors too. I'm there catching up. I'm there, coffee chatting with them. Or chocolate milk chatting from Cottle Creek. Shameless plug.
They have amazing.
Yes. But just, it's my favorite part of my Saturday too, is just getting there, talking to everybody, catching up, seeing people that are coming back. We have this one gentleman that comes, and he'll sometimes bring donuts for the vendors. And it's really, really sweet. Like just seeing the people come back, every weekend, you kind of start building like a friendship with them, I would say. So that would be the heart. And then the mission is just, telling people about the local produce and informing people about, how to cook vegetables, how to make delicious lemonade. So I think there's like a family component and then the information component of the farmers market, where we're letting people know this is fresh fruit, fresh bread, fresh canned or sauces, all the different things. And all our vendors are really, really nice. I mean, they get vetted out. They submit an application. I go through that. I make sure their social media is good, or if they don't have social media, like I make sure they're a legit business. So it's not just a something you sign up for. Like it's it is also like a vetting process. And then just, the family and then the information component is hand in hand, I think.
You actually tied in really well with one of the next questions that I had for you.
Nice.
Because I have been curious how vendors are kind of selected and then supported,
Yep.
throughout the process. Because I know a lot can change too, just in one season from, week one through to the end.
Yeah.
So,
And that's a challenging part about it, is I can't predict how many people come. I also can't predict the weather. So if there's not good weather, a lot of people aren't going to come. And it's navigating that communication with the vendors as well. I think a lot of my job is navigating relationships that I have with people, and the relationships that, they might have with the customers as well. They apply. So I have a Huntersville growers market application. It's a paper and an online application, and they apply, and it's a lengthy application. I'm not going to lie. It's about 12 pages. If you're new, it might, kind of deter you away. But, whenever I send it out, I say, let me know if there's any questions. You might have to follow up with me, but it's not, because if you're not a farmer, like if you're not a produce vendor and you want to sell bread, a lot of the things on the application process is not going to apply to you. And that I could see that deterring somebody from wanting to be part of it, or if they're just brand new trying to get a hold. So it's very important that I kind of bridge that gap and letting them know kind of what the vendor selection is about. We don't want it to turn too much into a craft market. We want to, add produce, add meat. So, that's the challenging part of it, because there's always someone that's going to want to sell crafts. So just handling those kind of relationships. But yeah, they get vetted out. I make sure they're a legit business. There's different qualifications in the application packet that I ask for. And I'm always like, hey, if you have any questions, let me know. If I don't know the answer, we'll find that answer out for you. There's been some people that have been with us for a long, even before me, like Mike from Green Thumbs. He's been there for forever. And so he kind of has a lot of feedback. And as a market manager too, like I have to be open to the feedback that we get from the produce vendors or from the vendors in general too. So I'm always looking for things like newer things that would work and attract more people. I know we'll kind of get into it a little bit later, but like the events we've been adding and stuff, just trying to make it more like family friendly.
Nice. Yeah. And how, actually, I'm going to switch to you, Matt, for a second, because I'm really curious, like, what inspired you not only to become a chef, but then to get involved in, for many years of, doing these demos at the market?
Well, as far as cooking goes, I think I just really like to eat.
Don't we all?
And my mother didn't cook very much, and she used to say, Matt doesn't like to cook, he likes to eat, and if he's going to eat, he's going to have to cook. So it just kind of snowballed from there. As far as getting involved with the market, I was a regular for the first couple of years and was chatting with, one of the vendors, one of the growers has been there longer than me. And there was a grill down at the end of the pavilion. And so we just kind of looked at each other and said, why aren't you cooking stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And so then that became a thing. And I've been, like I say, 4 separate locations. We've settled into Veterans Park, which is great. And it's, as Maria said, yeah, it's about the food, but it's about the people. I mean, I've got little kids that come and visit me. Like I say, I've got regulars. I walk the market every morning and talk to the vendors, and I get depressed in September when it ends.
He tells me he gets depressed. I'm like,
I do.
oh.
I do. It's like, and for weeks leading up to opening day, I'm just happy-go-lucky.
Yeah. And
I get to see my people.
Yeah, that's what makes it so great too, is just like you get to, like no one's grumpy. And if you're grumpy, we just kind of let you be grumpy. But, for the most part, like it just feels like family. Yeah.
Well, it's like a third place. I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase third places, places like libraries, coffee shops, and things where people can go to congregate and to like be with each other without having to pay for something super expensive or go to a restaurant. And it's, it provides that, which I'd love to see more of, but it's a really special thing that we have going on in Huntersville.
That's a great way to describe it.
Third place. I've never heard that before. That's awesome. I've heard of blue zones.
Thank the planning department. I think that's where I picked that up at.
That's awesome. I'll have to look into that.
So when we get back, think about over the break, because I'd love to hear from both of you when we get back. Like, what's one of your favorites or one of your go-tos at the market each week? And we will be back in a few minutes.
Sit tight. We'll be back with more after this on WSIC 1059 100.7 1400 AM. Local starts here.
Boy, just a really nice way to kick off a new work week around Lake Norman. Plenty of sunshine, comfortable today with high temperatures in the mid-70s. Most of us will stay dry. There is the low chance of an isolated shower or storm, but I wouldn't hold my breath for that. Even up over the mountains where they have a better chance. Chance is still low, only about a 20%. Overnight temperatures will get cool as we fall down into the low 50s, mid and upper 70s on the way again, staying dry Tuesday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
For 42 years, Johnson's Parts and Supply has been your Auto Plus auto parts store. When you need auto parts, think Johnson's Parts and Supply. Your Auto Plus auto parts store, 1112 Shelton Avenue, Statesville.
Need a ride? iCats has you covered. Tuesdays to the VA in Salisbury, Thursday to Winston-Salem, and Fridays to Hickory. Plus, run errands every day around Iredell County for just $1. Visit rideicats.com.
Don't miss the boat. Don't miss the boat, baby. Shop LKN Local for the best lake apparel, home decor, and gift ideas. Locally loved, made, and delivered right to your door. For the love of the lake, shop lkn-local.com today.
Hi, this is Bob McIntosh with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Since 1997, we have been committed to providing our clients with competent, caring, and experienced legal services. Learn more at McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Get ready, baseball fans. The Harbor Hippos are here to make a splash this summer. Catch the action starting May 30th at Huntersville Athletic Park. Season, group, or single tickets are now available. Head over to www.harborhippos.com to get your tickets and gear today. Don't miss out.
Have you taken the Desco Challenge? The people have spoken. Desco is where the professional goes for electrical supplies.
Hi, my name is Randy. I'm a general contractor, and I always trust the products at Desco.
See for yourself at DescoInc.com.
Nothing but the best talk.
The area's best talk.
WSIC.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. A buying surge to get ahead of President Trump's auto tariffs is rapidly depleting the supply of duty-free cars. According to Cox Automotive, the run on showrooms has slashed new vehicle inventories by 24%, which is one of the largest drops in several years. Dealerships have 61 days worth of cars on hand, the lowest level in nearly 2 years. However, sales are expected to slow down in the second half of the year as prices rise due to tariffs. Lowe's is launching a new AI-powered app aimed at helping both customers and its employees. The home improvement retailer says the MyLo Companion will roll out to its sales associate floor devices at the company's more than 1,700 stores to help with customer service and bringing new employees on board faster. And in an effort to combat the recent surge in shoplifting, Target is adopting a new self-checkout policy. The retailer announced it's now limiting self-checkout to shoppers with 10 items or less. Target says pilot tests show the new policy improved speed and customer satisfaction. Erica Herskowitz, Bloomberg Radio.
No radio? No worries.
Just ask Alexa to play WSIC.
All right, we're back with more from the Town of Huntersville on WSIC 105.9, 100.7, 1400 AM. Local starts here.
And welcome back to Thrive Here Live. And so right before the break, we were talking about, like the culture and community that the Growers Market has in Huntersville. And I had asked both of our guests, what is one of your go-to items that you always like to, or not always because it's seasonal, it changes, but one of the go-to things that you look for and, enjoy about the market?
So for me, it's the peaches from Cottle Creek. And that comes closer to June, but the peaches are fantastic.
Very short season.
Very short season, yes. And that's another thing I've had to learn, like the seasons of produce and, all that. And then I just tried a blueberry lemon sourdough cake from Cali Girl Bakes. I got half a loaf. I've already finished it. Super, super good. And then just the vegetables and the microgreens. Yeah, I made a whole breakfast Saturday when I came back home using just the items from the farmer's market.
Nice. What about you, Matt?
Well, when everybody else was hoarding toilet paper, I bought several quarts of fresh local honey from Cottle Creek.
Yeah.
I mean, you can almost throw a rock and hit their third generation hives. So there's that. I get a lot of my produce at Green Thumb. We've been lucky enough to have a Blue Goat Dairy selling goat cheese, and the microgreens are a favorite of mine too.
Yeah, super
and
good.
I will be buying all the donut peaches. So,
and that's the thing too. Like once people know what is coming, and they'll sell out. Like chocolate milk, I had to make sure I got that at 7:50, or else I would be gone by 8:30.
Yeah, I didn't know donut peaches were a thing, and now we haven't planned our summer vacation yet, and now I think I need to go and make sure that it doesn't overlap with that.
Really good, really
because that
good.
sounds amazing.
And Matt will make like a lemonade with like a peach lemonade. It's super good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also a big fan of the honey. We stay stocked up on that, and the time of year whenever I see. So my daughter loves from the time she was little. It was one of the consistent things I could always put in her school lunch, like the little sweet peppers. And every time those pop up, I was like, and buying so many. And I think I'm in competition with so many other parents that are making lunches for their kids because it seems to be a big hit with, some of the younger generation right now. So microgreens are great too.
Yeah.
But I wanted to transition a little bit to talk about some of the other services that the Growers Market offers to our community. And some people might not realize that if you receive SNAP or EBT benefits, that you can shop the market through that. You want to tell us a little bit more about how that works?
Yeah. So if you so SNAP is supplemental nutrition assistant program, and a lot of markets also participate in it. And we have coins that you get. So you come to our Huntersville Park and Rec tent, and then you get however much you want to put into that, or we'll scan your card, and then you get a certain market coins. And they're specific to our market, so it's not like you could use it at any other market. They've got our logo and they've got the amount on there. So we count those out. We give them to you in a beautiful little green bag. You'll get that, and then you'll be able to shop in our farmers market from produce only. So it's produce only. So you can go to Green Thumbs Gardens. You can go to Cali Girl Bakes, Nourish Life Farms, Cottle Creek, really anybody, Blue Goat Dairy too. So anybody that's selling food will be able to participate in that. So you wouldn't, do that towards like a craft, for example. And then those market bucks, or not the market bucks, but like the coins don't really expire. So you can, if you don't use them the first time that you get them, you can come back next week and use them. And then how that kind of works is they get that, they pay with the coins, the wooden coins, and then I check them out at the end.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's a
That's
great
good system.
program. I mean, it, allows people that, are able to shop locally too, and are able to have access to farmers market and not just a grocery store.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I agree. So have you had, what kind of response do you have from our community over, all the different things that we offer at the growers market?
So with SNAP, and then with like the little events that we're doing, last year we had a pet adoption. Matt ended up with a cat. Yeah.
I knew you were my people.
Yeah.
I have 3 cats.
I don't think we need to do the pet adoption event again.
I want there to be dogs. I want to take a dog home. But
I volunteer with Cats of Davidson, so I could probably overrule you on that and get them involved.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That'd be awesome. So so we just like to, again, like a goal of mine is to incorporate little things that would bring people to the market, and not just have it be a market. Like what would draw people in to keep coming back and keep coming back. So we've done like little events before. One of our part-time staff is helping me with the market as well, with running little smaller appreciation events. So last week was firefighter appreciation. So she ordered stickers with some like a firefighter craft. So just trying to make it a place where you come in the morning with your family, and kids are going to it with something to look forward to too. Is a goal.
So are you able to share some of the upcoming themes in the future?
Yeah, so we are going to have a kind of a young entrepreneurs weekend next weekend on May 10th. And that's going to be in partnership with Girl Scouts. And so it's going to be highlighting kids that are selling too. And then we always have Farmers Market Appreciation Week, or Farmers Appreciation Week, where we highlight the vendors. We usually do like breakfast for, Bojangles or whatever for the people participating, the people that are selling. And then I think we're going to have more of gardening demos as well. So gardening demos, so it'll be a farmer's market where you can get information too. We're going to have some stuff on our tent with a lot of our upcoming events that we do, concerts, moving in the park, all those things. So yeah.
Oh, great. Oh, I'm looking forward to the gardening one. So in my family, my spouse is the one that keeps plants alive. We'll just put it that way.
He's got a green thumb.
He's got a green thumb. But I've tried over the years to, grow some vegetables and things, and it hasn't always worked out to the best, but I'm trying again this year.
Yep.
I started small, and I think that's been one of my issues, is that I'll plant like 20 different things, and then 19 of those don't survive. So I started tomatoes and peppers, and we'll see how that goes.
It makes you appreciate too,
I'm
like
always
the
looking for tips.
craft of what the farmers are doing too. Because that's one of the things that I realized. I was like, oh, I need to pay attention to agriculture. I need to pay attention to, probably where my food is coming from. And two, like it made me appreciate so much with not just being a farmer's market, but understanding like the time and effort. And like most of our vendors have full-time jobs. So this is like a side gig for them. And all the time, all the effort that they're putting into it. I went to Mike with Green Thumb's house, and he lives, I think, on like maybe 1-2 acres. And the things that he's done in his backyard has been amazing. Just building things, water propagation, it's like a whole new world of appreciation for farmers and what they do.
That's really cool.
They've really evolved over the market, the ones that have been with us for a long time.
Yeah.
Because you used to start in the first market, there was nothing to eat.
Yep.
You know? Mm-hmm. And you had to wait until, but Mike and others have learned so much and taught themselves so much about when to start, when to plant, when to cover. Yeah. And so we actually have tomatoes day one at the market.
Yeah. Because, you can't predict the weather, so you got to deal with that. I didn't know what a bad crop year was before, so I had to learn kind of what that took. So it's a lot of different elements.
There are. Absolutely. And I really like and that's one thing I think is unique to Huntersville and, our growers market. It feels almost like an incubator. There's lots, vendors help mentor each other, they work together, and, you don't have, like you said, we have mostly folks who are full-time something else. Mm-hmm. And, this is a side gig, a side thing, but, they have that space and that opportunity to take that, maybe start as a hobby or, whatnot, and like nurture it and grow kind of like the plants that they're growing.
Yep.
So, I'm curious too, the Girl Scouts, and like the young entrepreneurs. How did that come about? Like, I love that idea to get our youth involved and to have them sell.
Yeah. Well, we've done them before, and I think now there's just a calling, for young kids to, I guess, like sell, learn, get them, acquainted with those soft people skills too. So, it's a great way for them to sell. It's a great way for our town of Huntersville too, to kind of, for people to come to our market and support their children, their families. And it's just through partnerships, a lot of just back and forth communication. And, we never want to deny anybody that is trying to do good things and highlight our department.
Yeah. And we currently have a few sponsors for our market as well. Mm-hmm. Can you remind me, is it Solus Birkdale, I believe?
Yes, Solus Birkdale, Joyce Factory Farms, they're our sponsor too. So they kind of help with the cost of the music at the market as well. And then Solus Birkdale sponsors Chef Matt. So we are able to pay him with that sponsorship as well.
Fantastic. All right. We will be back shortly after this break.
Sit tight. We'll be back with more after this on WSIC 105.9, 100.7, 1400 AM. Local starts here.
Boy, just a really nice way to kick off a new work week around Lake Norman. Plenty of sunshine, comfortable today with high temperatures in the mid-70s. Most of us will stay dry. There is the low chance of an isolated shower or storm, but I wouldn't hold my breath for that. Even up over the mountains where they have a better chance. Chance is still low, only about a 20%. Overnight temperatures will get cool as we fall down into the low 50s. Mid and upper 70s on the way again, staying dry Tuesday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Ready to roll, race fans? Swing by Harrison's in Mooresville and register in person for your chance to choose your race. 3 winners. First place picks first. Will it be the Coca-Cola 600 with pre-race passes, the Bet MGM 300, or the North Carolina Education Lottery 200? Register now through May 15th at Harrison's, the Southeast leader in Carhartt, Ariat, and Western wear. Winners announced live on the Home Ad Show. Lake Norman Woman is proud to sponsor the Mother's Day Commons Market at Birkdale Village with Shop Local QC. Join us Sunday, May 11th from 11 to 4 at the Plaza for live music. free photos with Mom from 12 to 1, and over 30 amazing local vendors. Don't miss it. Pulp Juice and Smoothie Bar in Cornelius is open for business. Drop into 9623 Bailey Road in Cornelius for a healthy smoothie today. The 500 Club in Statesville presents live music on Saturday night with a performance by My Better Half. After the concert on Saturday, come back to the club on Sunday to celebrate with a Mother's Day brunch. Golfing, entertainment, and honoring Mom are all at the 500 Club in Statesville this weekend. Peninsula Community Foundation is holding a volunteer fair on Thursday, May 8th. Join us at Bethel Presbyterian Church in Cornelius from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. as over 20 nonprofits offer volunteer opportunities for all ages. Learn about volunteering in your community at the Volunteer Fair Thursday, May 8th at Bethel Presbyterian Church in Cornelius. From everyone here at WSIC Radio, we wish you a happy Mother's Day this Sunday. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
All right, we're back with more from the Town of Huntersville on WSIC 105.9, 100.7, 1400 AM. Local starts here.
Great. So as we wrap up today's show, I'd love to take a few minutes to look ahead. The Growers Market continues to evolve, adapting to community needs, exploring partnerships, and bringing new energy each season. So for Matt and Maria, what are your hopes for the future of the Growers Market?
Vendor growth would be great. I love to see more variety. Every time we get something new, it's an opportunity for me to teach people about it. I'd like to see protein. We've got a lot of variety now, which is great, but we can bring in more.
Meat, fish, and produce.
Ooh, fish.
Meat, fish,
that
and
would
produce.
Be wonderful.
Yeah. That would be the goal.
Feel free to give me a homework assignment. I can work on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Meat, fish, and produce too, because, Chef Matt incorporates what the vendors have. Can't really incorporate a bag. So incorporating meat or fish into his recipes would be.
It's my job to sell their stuff.
Yep.
And we had a seafood, just as an example, we had a seafood vendor in the early days, back when it was under the pavilion in what's now Veterans Park. And everybody just wanted flounder and shrimp until I cooked some Spanish mackerel and it sold out.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice. So, what are some current opportunities? If there are folks that are listening or know of individuals who want to get involved and be a vendor, are there still opportunities to do so this year?
Yes, there is. So there is full-time and part-time vendor opportunities too. And so what that is committing for all the market days of the season, or committing to have, part-time. So we're really looking for produce, meat, and fish vendors right now. But yeah, and then we're kind of capped at the craft because we don't want to, make it too much of a market that's only craft. But yeah, so we're always looking for new opportunities, especially new people that are trying to see if markets would work for them. This would be a really great market to see kind of the traffic flow and, what the, community wants and needs of it if you're a newer vendor.
So what would your advice be to someone who's never been to our market before and is new? What would you suggest?
I would first follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Huntersville Growers Market, or just so they can be aware of what we've, are planning. And then just really first stop coming by and getting a market bag that we have for people. We've got beautiful, beautiful purple bags that say "Turn Up the Beat." So we've got market bags. So you don't even need to bring. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get one.
We have insulated ones, but those are like, I would say sell out fast, but we don't even sell them. So you get brand, you get a good smiling face as soon as you get there. You get a market bag. And then stopping by all the vendors, definitely making sure that you are there ahead of time and not coming about 30 minutes before the market ends, trying to look for new for produce. And then, of course, stopping by Chef's Matt tent, see what he's got cooking up, and also enjoying the little craft table that we will always have, and then listening to the music too. And we always have performers there every Saturday.
Great.
And enjoying the camaraderie of everybody being there.
So who is the performer this coming Saturday?
This coming Saturday, I believe, is BK Keedy. If I'm not mistaken, we've scheduled those out for the whole market season. And we kind of just kind of how they are able to perform or the dates that they're able to. But I would say a staple would be Tim Cook Music, who he sings with his sons. And he used to sing with his dad on stage. So Michael, our director who's been here forever, he kind of pointed it out one day. I was like, that is so cool. So he comes and he brings, how many kids does he have? Like 6 kids or something. And they'll come and they'll perform. And the little one that can't play music yet will just come and like strum his guitar. It's really cute. It's a family affair. They all come. So that would be like our staple. But, we are... I'm always looking for new entertainment, even if I can just kind of have you on the side just in case anyone cancels too.
It's good to know.
Yep.
Yeah. And I know for me, it's funny. And so I'll usually park, and I don't come as much as I'm planning on coming more often. I try to get there at least, once or twice a month during the summer. When I do attend, I like to park down in that Main Street parking lot down from Coffee Republic. So I'll swing into Coffee Republic and pick up something to drink because I'm there at least twice a week, I feel like.
Yeah.
Come across. And Matt, you're the table I usually go to first because I feel like it gives a good indication of like what's available that day at the market. So I always kind of like to see what you come up with and what ingredients you're using. And then I try to use that to set my intentions for my shopping.
That's awesome. That's exactly what I'm there for.
Yeah.
And,
So it's
you're
working.
asking for advice of what to do. I'd say, bring your coffee, hang around, do a lap and have an open mind. Try new things.
Yeah. Yeah. Trying new things is huge. Try new vegetables.
A lot of our vendors are giving out samples as well.
Yep.
You could try 20 different goat cheese blends.
Yeah.
Is it lunchtime yet?
So show up, hang around, do a full lap, talk to them. They're happy to tell you what it is and where it came from. And usually you can throw a rock and almost hit where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we also have a part-time coffee vendor as well. Tom's Traveling Coffee.
Oh, that's right.
And a lot of these vendors are not able to commit full-time every single Saturday. And so we kind of look for a lot of part-time vendors to fill in the gaps. And so we'll highlight the people that are going to be there or, the vendors that are going to be there a couple days before, usually on a Thursday or Friday, so that it catches their attention on our socials, and then they'll be there. So be on the lookout for that out of a coffee truck, Tom's Traveling Coffee.
And I know a lot of folks often ask about parking. Can you, I personally feel we have a lot of parking in downtown.
Yeah.
Do you want to give some of the options of where people can park to access
Yeah,
the
and
market?
I'll tell you where to not park. It's not on the street. Where I'm having to tell people, please don't park there, because I've seen it before too. Like people get sideswiped on the side, but so we are located right next to the American Legion. So we're able to utilize that parking too. Usually they'll cone out maybe a couple spots for for their entrances, but you can park there. There's parking on Main Street. There's always parking at Town Center, and you can walk over and stop and get coffee and all that. And yeah, I would like to also think we have tons of parking, but I don't ever hear that we have tons of parking, so that's challenging. But it is what it is. People will get there either way. It could be worse. So
Yeah, well, we do have the parking deck next to Discovery Place Kids. Town Hall.
There's always space available.
There's always space there. Yeah.
So we don't always have to park. I know it can be challenging if you want to park right by the Legion. And are there Do we reserve spaces in that parking lot beyond what's already there for ADA accessibility?
So typically, no. So we'll have those two, the ADA couples parking spots. The thing with that is like ADA has a different, like the length and the space is not normal. It's not the same. I don't want to say normal, but not the same as a regular parking spot. So if we put cones out and label ADA, it's not really ADA. So we don't want to give people a false message. But parking is usually not too bad of a problem. But if you're getting there at say 11:30, won't be bad. But maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock is where you might have to park a little bit further.
And before we wrap up, I'd also love to know, because I believe, is it the Teen Council?
Mm-hmm.
Do the teens volunteer as a market?
Yeah, so Lindsay Small is the one that coordinates that. So she kind of runs that program, and we have a lot of Teen Council that volunteers on Saturdays, as well as our like major events. And it kind of gives them just like a real life door too, to talking to people, and putting tents up, putting tables up. So it kind of gives them that like oomph of like a work ethic that you need to have, into the real world. But they're great. They're a really great group to work with. The new, this year's group of kids has been awesome. And I say kids, but yeah, kids, right? Yeah, they're kids. Yeah, kids.
I just had that conversation. So I have a 17-year-old, and
you're a kid.
She was helping. She does performance arts, and she was a stage manager helping the school of the Narwhal School down on Old Statesville, the magnet program. They use North Mac High School's auditorium for their performances, and she was just saying, I was helping the kids, and I was like, "You're a kid too." And the response was only for another 5 months.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. And that group too, like one of those kids was able to get like a award for how many service hours she had.
That's great.
And now she's going to be helping us with the farmers market too. So it's great to see like the fruition of the kids throughout their years, and how they're able to help us too. So it's a great relationship that we kind of are able to have with them, and they're able to volunteer. And they're able to have fun. They usually do.
Yeah. So what is one short thing that you want listeners to leave with from today before we wrap up? Matt, do you want to go first?
Every Saturday, May through September.
Yeah,
every
you're going
year.
to say December.
Every year.
And what are the hours?
8 to noon.
Mm-hmm. 8 to noon. Please, if you are a farmer, a meat or fish vendor, please email me. We welcome you and would love to have you be part of the market, and we welcome everybody to the market.
Thanks. Well, thank you for being here with me today. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So that's a wrap for Thrive Here Live, where community grows, stories unfold, and we thrive together. Until next time, stay connected, stay involved, and keep thriving.